Sweet. Okay, yes, we're here. Hello. Hi folks, Matthew here from Instro, and we have Ben.
Hello.
From Instro as well, also known as Obigaku.
Very close. Obakigaku.
Obakigaku.
It's horrible. It's a very silly nickname, and but I'm committed to not changing it. So.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, we're basically going to show off this patch that Ben has created, utilising glōc. Yeah, we're going to kind of build it up, kind of talk about what glōc is kind of doing within this patch. It's a really cool patch. So yeah, hopefully you kind of learn some tips and tricks with glōc, but also some of the other modules as well. So yeah, I think we'll just get into it, rip out all the cables and go for it.
Let's do it.
Rip them out.
Rip them out, take them out. So if I pull them out kind of in the same size as...
Okay, that's smart.
That would be better than me
Smart.
just balling them all up
No.
snake breeding pit.
Take that. Nice.
Cool. Sweet. Okay,
Yeah.
so glōc. glōc is here. glōc is a kind of new module where you take either a single external clock or a tap internal clock, and then you get this kind of spread of outputs, and they're kind of based on there's something that I can't remember what we called it in the end, but it's basically like an array where the positions of the outputs themselves have kind of set multiply and division factors, and then you can also like move those around.
Yeah.
And with the sort of multiply and division knob, and then there's also a probability knob that works by kind of introducing breaks in the sort of pulse train, or kind of repeating patterns, like sort of trigger patterns. So for the patch that I've been working on, I'm basically going to be modulating a bunch of those kind of factors on glōc to produce kind of unpredictable but musical tempo synced trigger outputs, and they're going to drive some CV pitch and sort of harmonic content coming out of the Teletype into the psych to sort of sequence the four voices separately rather than just have psych used as typically it's just, you know, big fat chords.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of crudely using it as a four voice paraphonic oscillator, I guess. Into the ARA and then into sort of parallel effects chains, and then sort of summing them all at the end. And yeah, we're going to have some drums on the Lúbadh. It's just some stuff I made in VCV this morning on the train over.
Nice.
And that's going to kind of act as master clock into the glōc, into the tie,
right,
all this kind of stuff. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah.
Hopefully we can recreate it all. The first thing I'm doing, I just want to save a state on the glōc. So you can basically lock an output so that it's never going to change even though it's being modulated. So the other outputs are all going to sort of change, but I want to keep one that's fairly steady. So yeah, let's just start, I guess.
Yeah, man.
So I'm going to take the clock output from this Lúbadh drum loop that's going and run that into the clock input. And then what I want to do is take this steady clock that's not being modulated and run that into the tie, into its clock input. I've got the tie set up so that both the analog sample and hold as well as the digital random are sharing the same clock input, so that's going to keep things nice and locked as well.
Nice.
The digital algorithm is just the first one, so it's just a kind of almost like a digital sample and hold. With slew, I'm not going to mess with the slew today, and I'm not going to mess with clock probability because we've got a lot of other stuff going on. But, they're going to be working away, and I'm going to sort of use their digital and analog random CV sources to modulate the multiply and divide factors, as well as the probability knob and CV.
Yeah.
Then we should patch some stuff into Teletype. So Teletype.
Yeah, you're quite big on the Teletype.
Yeah, I love it. It's so it's kind of it's a weird module to describe to people who aren't familiar with it. But the idea is that you have scripts, and scripts can be like gate patterns or CV sequencing or quantization or
chord changes and stuff.
Chord changes, you can do. So today, like we've got, I've just set up a scale. It's a D major 7. So it's gonna send like basically 4 separate sequences that are all in that scale to the psych. It's gonna do some kind of negative and positive voltage offsetting as well to sort of jump the voices up and down octaves. The Teletype itself doesn't have bipolar CV outs, but this expander does. So we're kind of jumping around the back and using those to sequence pitch today.
Nice.
So I'm gonna take these.
And you control that all with this
silly keyboard.
This keyboard that has nothing written on it. I'll get it on the main camera there. See, look, have a look at this. It's lovely. You've totally got an aesthetic going on. No text on the keys, so no one else knows how to use this but Ben.
Yeah, nobody knows if you fucked up the code.
Exactly.
They can't see me typing, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's something nice about having just like a kind of blank slate and like I like sort of minimalism and stuff. So it works nice for me. But I totally appreciate how absurd it is. So we've got our pitch is going to be coming out here at the moment. So the scripts on Teletype, they all take trigger inputs as well. So I'm going to trigger those from the Glock. I'm not going to be particularly fussed about which outputs are doing which. We can mix that up maybe later as we're sort of get into listening to the patch. Cool. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Cool. So that's all done. We should get some audio going, I suppose. So let's take the output of the Psych. I'm going to run it into the ARA today. I was going to use the Procyon, but I've kind of ran out of stereo outs and stuff. So I think for today, I'm just going to use the ARA and mess around with the sort of VCA and cutoff stuff as well. So let's get... Oh, I need my big silly malt for this part. So
the malt.
We've got the branded malt. So I want to take output from the ARA. I want to take one that's just going to be a dry, like through-pass signal into the first channel of the Carn. Oh, should we bring that?
Yeah.
Oh, so they can hear it already, can't they? Yeah. Okay, so now I can hear it. So already it's quite nice.
This is like the Mega Carn. It's
the Mega Carn, yeah.
It's been sneakily added into Jason's cases. A few people might know of it, but
additional pair of stereo ends.
Yeah.
I've had this one in here for a wee while. It's quite handy, especially when you've got stuff like Arbhar or Lúbadh that play nice in stereo, and you just need a straightforward way of getting those in your case without doubling up mixers and stuff. So dry audio coming into the ARA. I want to also get one malted into this Lúbadh left deck, which is running as a delay, so we can get that in here. I'm not going to have the level too high just yet, just because we kind of want it just sitting quietly in there. Oh, we should get our drums in. Stick that into channel 4 of the Carn. There we go. So we've got a bit of a backbeat going on.
Nice.
I've got the limiter engaged on the Carn as well, so the drums are just going to squash everything quite nicely.
Nice kind of ducking and...
Yeah. I don't need to worry about using like a compressor or anything like that for this patch, which is kind of handy. Okay, so we've got 2 more of these malts. One's going into this Arbhar, and the other is going into this Arbhar. These Arbhars are both kind of running the same sort of presets. It's a new one from V2. It takes advantage of the follow mode as well as the onset detection mode that produces a gate when it gets to the end of its sort of cycle. The capture CV input is set up via the preset file in order to like retrig rather than just latch on and off capture. So in practice, we hit capture once just to get it going. We can adjust speed with the scan knob, and you'll see that it just kind of blinks orange rather than coming on and off. So I know that this is now working. Let's get some of the outs hooked up. I'm going to use this bottom stereo channel on the Uber Carn.
Nice.
You can hear that already. Very nice. So I've used the track and hold. We can bring it back down. So just at unison and then double tap. And I'm going to move it up 7 semitones, so perfect fifth. Yeah, that's nice. Kill that just now, and then let's bring in our second Arb. I'm going to send these to channel 2 and 3. I've got these hard panned left and right as well, just so we get the most out of that sort of stereo effect.
And the chords are nice. They're ever so slightly kind of dissonant, kind of.
So just hearing each time the grain's firing, it's going to be slapping us on both sides of the head. We need to set up the ring buffer on this one as well. So again, capture and then the gate out. There we go. Nice. I've got just static 2 volts coming out of the Teletype. I'm going to put that into the mods input on this Arbhar for reverb. There we go. Super lush. Cool. So at the moment we've got our beat going. We've got a bit of a delay. We've got a little bit of effects, but we don't really have much modulation going on with the actual psych voice or the filter. And I'd like to introduce some of that just to kind of create a bit more space in the patch and just add a bit of dynamics. So one of the things I need to do first is I want to set up the opt and the opt expander to kind of work as a sort of almost like a third sample and hold within this patch. So
and you see there's like a wee kind of trick to it?
Yeah, so you basically, if you send it a gate signal to the CV input and you set the attenuverter fully left, it kind of will create sample and hold based on the effects. So every time the gate goes high, I think, high or low, I can't remember, both, maybe, who knows, it's gonna hold those outputs. So as we then start introducing some of these outs into the patch, we'll hear kind of, like not tempos locked, but everything's going to be loosely in time with each other. And the changes that are taking place.
Nice.
So I'm going to use the logic pairs. I'm going to use the positive one. I'm going to send the first one into the CV input on the side. Just to add a bit of breathing.
Yeah.
You'll probably see that on the camera, but yeah, so the CV jack here and the mix profile that we're using is just the full VCAs over all 4 voices. We could mess around with the, you know, the kind of arpeggiating stuff as well, but for this patch I just quite like where it is here. And then with the ARA, I've got it set up so that the primary CV input jack is set to control both the VCA as well as the filter. So let's take another one of those logic pairs.
Yeah, definitely.
Really get the ducking on the car in there as well from everything. Really nice. I'm gonna take, I'm gonna slow the up down a wee bit. I'm gonna take its fastest output and run that into my FM input of the psych for just a little bit of pitch wobble. Not too much. That's probably quite a nice amount.
Yeah.
And then what else do we have? We've got a couple of cables
We've still got some cables left.
What are we missing? I think before I had some set up. I'm going to use these DACs, so sort of slow random outs. I'm going to send one to intensity on this Arbhar. And oh, I remember now. And the other one I'm going to send to the speed input on our delay line here.
Ah, okay.
Bring that up a little bit.
That's nice.
Yeah, really like that. I've got the monitoring turned off on this one, so we're not actually getting the dry sound coming in, but we're only hearing the sort of delay line. If we turn up the rate on the op, those changes are going to be a bit more pronounced. But so is everything else.
Yeah.
And we can mess around a little bit with the multiply and division knobs, as well as the probability knobs on the Glock, sorry, too. That way, I'm just gonna have slightly. It's gonna be weighted more to divisions rather than multiplications, and it's gonna keep the patch a little bit slower.
Right.
I want to actually slow the drums down a wee bit because at the moment it's quite upbeat, but I feel like this kind of track is moving into a slightly more down-tempo vibe. So the speed knob and the presets that I've got the Lúbadh on just now means that basically whenever I turn the knob or if any CV comes into speed, it's just snapping straight to the values that I set in the preset. But I can override this on the Lúbadh. This works really well for drums where you want to be, kind of play a bit more loose with speed. So I'm going to hold the shift button and just move the knob. Maybe a little bit too slow. There's quite nice.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're getting a good kind of tempo.
Yeah. And again, like all the sort of changes and pitch, offsetting, our modulation sources, they're all being kind of driven by this this clock output from the Lúbadh. So if I then make any changes to like length, for example, these changes are going to speed up.
Yeah.
And then if I bring it right down, with that. We could even use this last cable to modulate the start position. Slow it right down, turn it into sludge.
Sludge. Sludgy vibes. Nice, yeah, so you're really utilising most of
Yeah, I think there's
glōc.
all but one.
Yeah. There's a lot of parameters you can mess with glōc. Divisions.
Yeah,
It's
good
cool,
fun.
man. Yeah, man.
Good fun.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I think that's the patch.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to the Glock release and seeing what other folk can bring in their case.
Yeah, totally. And we hope that you got something from that. Maybe some wee tips and tricks for Glock and any of the other modules. You know, it's cool to see the way that you patch, and it's definitely unique to you. And I love it personally. It's really good, really good tone. So, yeah, thanks for that, man.
No worries.
Yeah, we'll play a wee bit out so you can have a wee listen. But thanks for watching.
Cheers. Goodbye.
Oh, that's quite nice.
Yeah. I love this. You know, the sample and hold stuff on the aux, so cool.
Nice, man. Nice, man. Everybody scream! Nice, awesome, man. That was brilliant.
Thanks for having me.